and Business in the 217. A time for us to look at what's going on in and around the Springfield business community. To talk more about that, somebody who definitely knows is Springfield Business Journal and publisher Michelle Ownbey. Michelle, thanks for taking time with us this morning. And let's get right into it. A downtown eatery no longer with us. What happened with this particular eatery, Great House BBQ? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Greg. Well, I was one of the folks who were disappointed about this. I was definitely a fan of their food. You know, Great House Barbecue actually started out on the west side of town a few years back, and then last summer they had closed the west side location and announced plans to move downtown. But unfortunately, between some permitting and renovation delays and things like that, they didn't actually manage to get open until January, so probably not the greatest timing in terms of opening a new location downtown. And after just a few months, as you mentioned, they have now closed. And they were leasing the space there at 5th and Adams, the former incubator space, but they also had a couple of the adjacent buildings. Renata Frazier was the one who owned the Great House Barbecue, and then several of her adult children worked in the business with her. They had announced plans that the daughter was going to open a bakery and the son was going to open a nightclub. So they had several of those consecutive spaces leased. But I talked with the owner, Ben Call. He said that Truth Lounge, which is a new bar and nightclub currently in the lower level, is going to move up and take that main floor space where Great House Barbecue is located. And then they're going to hold off on putting the other spaces back on the market just yet, because they're planning to do quite a bit of facade work and renovation work as soon as the weather starts cooperating here. So they're going to get those exterior renovations done first and then have those properties back on the market later this year.
So from one eatery downtown closing to another eatery opening up, this one on North Grand Avenue. And Michelle, I take it this is close to you, and they're probably going to get a lot of business. Tell us about Mas Sabores.
Yes, Más Sabores, meaning more flavors. It's a Mexican bakery, taqueria, and ice cream shop getting ready to open in the former No Way Jose space there on North Grand Avenue. It's actually within walking distance of my house, which is very convenient because they have a current location just known as Sabores in Chatham, and I have to admit I don't get out to Chatham too much these days. But Alex and Gabby Rico are the owners. They're currently doing some renovations on the space and, again, waiting for the weather to cooperate to finish up the last little bit of exterior work. But Gabby says they will be open sometime in April, definitely in time for Cinco de Mayo. And she says it's all homemade bakery items. Everything's from scratch. And then they've got the taqueria, so traditional Mexican foods like tacos and burritos and all that, and Mexican ice cream. And a lot of people are definitely looking forward to that.
Sounds absolutely delicious, and looking forward to that myself. Let's talk about a couple of expansions, some ribbon cuttings. First, one that happened on Friday. Tell us what's going on with Medics First.
Right. So just down the road on North Grand, the former Shop and Save has been sitting vacant for the last couple years, but we announced last fall that Medics First had purchased that property. And as you mentioned, on Friday, they held, I guess technically it wasn't a ribbon cutting since they're just beginning the renovation process. They had ceremonial sledgehammers. So all the elected officials were there and they took a few swings at the wall with their hard hats on and all that. But they are now officially kicking off the redevelopment. O'Shea Builders is handling that project, good local contracting firm. And Memorial has already committed to leasing about 10,000 square feet of that space for a future workforce development program. But Medics First is the actual owner of the property. So it will be great to see some new activity and life coming to that building that's been vacant now for a while.
So ceremonial sledgehammers used in that. I don't think I've ever seen a ceremonial sledgehammer. Seen plenty of ceremonial shovels, but sledgehammers, that's a new one to me. So let's talk now about an upcoming grand opening of sorts for the Prairie State Hemp location. Tell us about this company.
Yes, Prairie State Hemp is having a grand opening this Saturday. They're downtown, located on the main level of the Myers building between 4th and 5th Street. And this is going to be their first retail location. They are, as the name implies, they are a hemp farm based in Mount Vernon, and they've been doing wholesale distribution for a while and also had an online ordering platform where they've been doing deliveries all across the country, but now they're actually going to have a walk-in retail location. They do a lot of the CBD products as well and that type of thing, the oils, the gummies. So now instead of just supplying other retail outlets, they will have one of their own, and it will also serve as a pickup point for their wholesale customers. So They are now officially in downtown Springfield.
These are just some of the things happening in and around the Springfield area that the Springfield Business Journal keeps tabs on and to update you regularly. Michelle, if people are looking for those regular updates outside of just listening to Business in the 217 with Springfield's Morning News, how can they sign up?
Well, the best way is to get on our website, springfieldbusinessjournal.com. BizBites comes out every Wednesday afternoon, and it's free of charge, as you said, kind of a roundup of what's happening in the business community. And then, of course, if you want to get the print edition with the more in-depth articles, you can also sign up to get that delivered to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, Springfield Business Journal, greatly appreciate it, and we'll connect again soon, all right?
Thanks, Greg.
It is